Welcome back to the BEAM&Flow podcast. This is a nitty-gritty exploration of your body, energy, awareness, movement, and flow. I'm your host, Chloé. I'm a proudly Latina curandera, or a healer and a coach, guiding spirit-led rebels to their richest lives. Ready to connect? Lista? Let's go! Buenas. So, we're going to see how this goes. This is my first time recording a solo episode with all of my new production gear by myself without my amazing artistic designer, Sean, here doing all of this for me. So hopefully he doesn't have too much to take care of when we're editing, or when he's editing, because I definitely am not editing. But we're gonna go and see how it turns out. So this season, if you've been tuning in, we've been really focusing on the body. And I've been interviewing different practitioners who I've worked with or who work in modalities that I work with in terms of releasing chronic holding patterns in the body and energy blocks. And yeah, I wanted to take some time and really connect with you all one-to-one. I haven't done a solo episode in probably close to a year. And I figured one around the body would be really, really productive. And I would have a lot to say. So here we go. I believe that my body is a temple. And people throw that phrase around a lot. My body's a temple. I treat my body like a temple. But I've gotten the impression that we don't really take the time to sit with what that means. And when I say my body is a temple, what I mean by that is that the spirit of life, of creation, of God lives in me. That's my soul, is that part of that spirit. It's a piece of, a reflection of, a child of, whatever language you want to use. It is connected to that one spirit of creation. And that is powerful. And because that is powerful, it means I am powerful. And if this body is the holding place, the dwelling place of that spirit of creation, then I have a duty, a joy, an honor, a responsibility to take care of this temple. And if you've ever gone into like a Hindu temple or even a church, a little bit harder for me to connect with church given my history, but still, if you go into any place of worship, they have put time and effort into making that space beautiful, into making that space clean. And the reason why is because beauty and clarity allow for spirit to like let loose, right? Where we get to interact with our divine nature in a really visceral way. So for me, my spiritual awakening, if we want to call it that, really started about 12 years ago. I was in acting conservatory and I took this body awareness and movement class that was designed for actors. Because as an actor, you need to like be in your body so that you can inhabit all of these different roles and emotions and express them truthfully. So the class was taught by my wonderful teacher, Carol Reynolds. And it was essentially an introduction to body work. She is a body worker, and she was a choreographer and a performer and a dancer for many years. And so she really brought this work that is based in bioenergetic therapy to actors to learn how to use this instrument of the body. And so in the class, we started learning the basics of body work. And that actually made total sense because really it's completely analogous to scene study. So what I mean by that is if you are in a play, let's say you're doing Romeo and Juliet, and you're doing the balcony scene, right? Maybe one of the most famous scenes in all of theater. You're playing Juliet. You could be saying the same lines in the same costume on the same set, the same director, but you do it with Ben as Romeo, and it's going to be a completely different experience than Kevin as Romeo, right? Because they're two different people. They're two different energies. It's the same thing when you're doing body work on someone. You could be doing the same movement to the same part of the body, but on a different person, on a different body, it will be a completely different experience. That class changed my life in every way. And eventually I asked my teacher if she was training anyone, and she said, well, I have an apprenticeship program, but it takes years. I said, well, I'm not going anywhere, so sign me up, teach. And she did, and I studied with her for several years. And eventually I started my own business out of that. BEAM&Flow came out of my apprenticeship in the Reynolds technique. And what came up in that first 12-week course that I took at T. Schreiber Studio 12 years ago was that I had no idea how to be in my body. All I knew was that my body was in pain. Oh, I had no idea how to breathe my body, not just breathe up in here, but breathe my whole body. I had no idea how much power was within me. And as I started connecting the dots, that this body is electric and energetic before it is even chemical, shit started getting stirred up in me. And I started asking questions that I had been afraid to ask for a long time, because I grew up in an evangelical, very conservative church where, although they were speaking in tongues and laying hands on people for healing and praying over them, if it wasn't Jesus who was attributed to this healing, then it was the devil. And I never believed that, but I had been tricked by it within the church. And I remember telling Carol after one of these classes, I think we were looking at chakra energy, and she used a pendulum to show us like when your chakras were aligned, the pendulum would move clockwise, and when something was out of alignment, it would move counterclockwise. And I watched her do it, and I got so angry. I was so angry because I felt like I was being tricked again. And she allowed my anger. She had no problem with it. And she asked me, are you scared that this is like demonic? Because I had mentioned my upbringing, and I said, no, I just think you're tricking me with this shit. Like, I'm not going to be fooled by this again, I believe is what I said. And so after class, she sat me down and she said that I had every right to be angry and not trust, but that what I was looking for to be in my work as an actress was never going to be there until it was in my life. And what she was talking about is this energy, this embodiment. And what she was saying about it's not going to be in your work if it's not in your life, that transcendent quality that I was looking to provide people an experience of through my work as an actress, where you get to transcend your current reality and connect with someone else's heart, someone else's experience. That transcendence is a spiritual thing. It's an energetic exchange. And that was never going to be possible until it was in my body, in my life. And that night began a lifelong, 12 years so far, process of unwinding the kinks in my body, the holding blocks, the energetic pieces of stuckness, of sludge that were keeping me from like being fully free in my body and knowing all of the movement and all of the expression that this body can give me. And as I've gone through my journey thus far, there are a couple of things that I've realized, and I wanted to share them with you. First, oh, the body is magical. It's really magical. Like when you think about how miraculous it is that we exist, that we breathe, that we can see, that we can smile, that we can kiss each other, that we can enjoy pleasurable connection with another human being through sex, that we can feel the amazing sensation of wind on our skin or of water when we're swimming in a lake or an ocean or a river. The fact that when you rub your hands together like this, they heat up. And then when you pull them apart, I can literally feel the texture of the energy between my hands that I just was working with through frictioning. I can feel the pressure between my hands. I can feel heat. And I can like play with the shape of the energy. It's really amazing. And what I'm playing with was part of me. It's part of me that it's being expressed in the world now. The body is amazing. It is miraculous. It is miraculous. I was doing a workshop at a retreat about a month ago in Joshua Tree, and I woke up with the sun and I watched the sunrise in the desert. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I was struck with this download that came through for me. You know, in the spiritual community, we hear a lot that your body's a meat suit. Oh, once we drop these meat suits, we're going to be in oneness with God and with all of creation, and we're going to ascend. And I fucking hate that. Like, I hate that word, meat suit. It implies like it's just nothing. It's just a meat suit. That's just like, no. Yes, our soul is eternal. Yes, we are eternal spiritual beings having a human experience. And this body, this vessel, this temple is miraculous. It is miraculous. It's not just something to be discarded. It's not just something that is holding you back from connecting to God. It's not something that keeps you like a lowly human. Like none of that. No, I reject all of that. Every single lie of that mentality. Yes, the soul is an eternal being. And the soul chose to have this experience in this body, in your temple, in my temple. That's incredible. And we have codes. We have like the code book, the manual of how to make this vessel as optimized as possible. So if you're a woman and you're still cycling every month, if you're bleeding every month, you're in a magical portal. And instead of dreading it, there's a change that happens at a visceral level, at a cellular level, when you begin to embrace all of the beauty of your body, all of the parts of your cycle. The fact that you have different psychic abilities at different points in your cycle. The fact that you have different superpowers, like in terms of getting shit done. You have different superpowers every week of your cycle. If you knew how to tap into that, if you knew that when you ovulated, and even though you're only ovulating for like 12 hours, during those 3 or 4 days when you're around ovulation, you are magnetic AF, baby. Like, go after what you want. Ask for that raise. Go network. Ask for a promotion. Ask for anything. And not guaranteeing that the answer is going to be yes, but it will more than likely be yes. Why? Because hormonally, chemically, your temple, your body is creating an energetic signature that compels those around you to say yes to you. That's amazing. That is amazing. If you knew only that and you used it every month, how much better could your life be? Same thing with rest. And rest definitely when you're bleeding, if you're a woman. But for anybody, rest is so key to this body. And that doesn't mean resting, scrolling on your phone, watching TV. I mean like rest, where no input is coming in. And you're just breathing. And you're simply allowing everything to still. You get so much power from rest. Water. Simple one. I cannot tell you how many people in my personal life I am on about drinking their water. It's pretty much everybody in my life. Because we are, these bodies, these temples, are 99% water. We need water, living water, not water in plastic bottles, not water that's gone through the ¿cómo se dice? How do you say it? The plumbing cycle, where you're essentially drinking chemicals, birth control, painkillers, not to mention all of the like disgusting chemical stuff that they use, that they spray everywhere. All of that's in the water that you're drinking. Unless you're drinking like pure spring water that's been tested, and or you're doing reverse osmosis water that you're then re-aliving through, whether it's an analemma wand or some other cohesive, coherent, structured tool where you're structuring your water again. We're not getting living water. We're getting chaotic water. Think about that. If you are 99% water and then you're putting chaotic water that is really full of pesticides and chemicals and hormones, is that serving you? If you are drinking quality water and you're only drinking a liter or two a day, that's not enough. We are chronically dehydrated. When you're dehydrated, you do not function well. It affects your brain health. It affects your muscle health. It affects your hormones. It affects your sleep. I am positive most of the world's problems could be solved if we were drinking enough quality water. And even in supposedly the richest country on earth, we are not. We're chronically dehydrated. We are also chronically under-mineralized because we've stripped the minerals out of the earth. So our water supply doesn't have the minerals that we need. We actually need a lot more sodium than we're getting. Potassium, magnesium, all of these things are stripped out of our water supply. So we need to be remineralizing, whether that's with salt in your water or an element packet or Shilajit. I use all of the above. But you want to make sure that you're remineralizing your water and that you are drinking enough water. What is enough water? If everything in your diet and lifestyle is 100% perfect, you still need half of your body weight in ounces of water a day. If you have any sugar, dairy, alcohol, caffeine, if you work out or if you fly, that number has got to go way up. So most of us actually should be drinking like our full body weight in ounces of water a day. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you should be drinking 150 ounces of water. But Chloe, I'm going to be peeing all day. What am I going to? Yeah, you're going to be peeing all day for a while until your bladder learns through muscle memory that it can expand and hold, and then you won't be peeing quite as much. But for a little while, yeah, you're going to be peeing all day. Guess what? You need to be. You have all of this gunk stored up in your body. It needs to release. So now that my soapbox on the water is done, let me get back to some other truths about the body that I'm coming back to all of these years later. Like, they've been a part of my life, and I'm coming back to them with fresh eyes in this new, starting this new 7-year cycle. This body, because it's a temple, and because it is energetic and electrical before it is anything else, I've had the opportunity to really sit with, what does it mean to give my body in relationship, sexually? I love sex. I love connection. I love it. And I've been celibate for 14 months. And I'm really good with it, actually. Because there is an energy exchange that happens when you have sex with someone, when you make love with someone. Those are two different things, and they both have different energy exchanges. And I realized about a little over a year ago that I had given too many people who were not energetically aligned with me access to my most sacred place, my temple. And they weren't worshiping. They were defecating and desecrating my temple. And I was not having it anymore. And the reality is, I don't blame them. I chose to be in those situations. I put myself in a place where I wasn't valuing my temple. And so I stopped. I plain old stopped. And I am open to connection, and I am definitely open to meeting my king and having amazing sex with him. That's in my journal. It's on my manifestation board. Like, he's going to give me amazing sex. We're going to give each other amazing sex for the rest of our lives. Ashe. But until he arrives, I am not allowing my temple to be disgraced. And that's not to say that, like, sex outside of a committed relationship is disgraceful. That's not what I'm saying at all. I am saying that because I have elevated my entire life to give more, to receive more, and to give more, that includes my body, and that includes what I put inside of me and who I let inside of me. Okay? So I am very, very particular when it comes to what I eat, to what I drink, to what I consume in any way, whether it's media or music, but like anything. If it's being filtered in my body in one way, shape, or form, I'm asking the question, what is this? How is this interacting with my body? Is this serving me? Is this serving my spirit? Because if the answer is no, I'm not eating it. I'm not drinking it. I'm not kissing them. I'm not doing it. And you might think that's kind of radical. You might think that that's super hardcore. Like, Chloe, come on, loosen up. Life's too short. And I'm not. I'm not dogmatic about it. If things happen, whether it's with food or water or whatever. And I am responsible for my field, for my body, for my life. I am the one who is responsible. I am able to respond, which is responsible, able to respond in a clear and aligned way, in a way that is in integrity with myself. And I truly believe, and I have seen and experienced in my own life over the past 12 years, and especially over the last 14 months, that if you treat yourself, your body, your word, your time, your energy, your friendships, your relationships, if you treat that with integrity and honor, you'll be given more. You'll receive more because you have the capacity to give more, because you're strong, because you're clear, because you're aligned, right? Like if you had, I'm trying to think of a different metaphor for this. If you had, I don't know, let's say you had like DirecTV and you had 10,000 channels, right? But the connection to the receiver was off. Like there's something wasn't plugged in right. You could have access to all those channels, but you won't see any of them if it's not plugged in right? If the connection isn't secure, you're not going to see any of it. It's the same thing. We know what it takes to have clear connection. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. It is simple. It is very simple. It's not easy. The world we live in has been designed to keep us from ourselves, to keep us asleep, to keep us distracted, to keep us in pain, to keep us alone and in isolation. That's not the reality that we are meant to live in. So when you wake up to the power that you actually have, to all of these channels that are able to flow through you, and you start deciding, I'm going to make sure that I am plugged in. To be plugged in, the body has to be clear. Body needs sunlight. Are you getting actual sunlight? Sleep. Are you getting restful, deep sleep? Do you have blue light on all over your room? Take that shit out. Stop. Take it out. Take it out. Are you on devices the entire day from the first time, like as soon as you wake up till you go to sleep? Enough. You can put the device down. Doesn't need to be with you 24/7. Are you drinking enough water? Or are you one of the billions who are chronically dehydrated? Are you eating quality food from local farmers? Are you eating seasonal foods? Are you engaging in friendships that are deep, soul level friendships? Are you consuming content that is edifying your soul and giving you education and prosperity? Or are you watching things that reinforce, oh, I'm never going to have this. Oh, money's not for me. Oh, relationships don't ever work. Oh, I can't trust men. Like, is that really how you want to live your life? I don't. I got tired of that a long time ago. And I have been on a continual process of redefining and reintegrating what actually serves this holy of holies. My body is the holy of holies, okay? And so as I've tapped into that and really honored this body, really honored the experience of being Chloé in this body for the last 14 months, it has been a ride because my life externally reflected the process internally. So during the seasons where there was a lot of detox going on, a lot of shedding, whew, baby, things fell away internally and externally this year. Man, did they fall away. Pieces of my business completely fell apart. Relationships, gone. Friendships, gone. Issues with my family. Like, everything came up and dropped out that needed to. And now on the other side of it, I feel so clear. I feel so inspired. I feel so creative. I am enjoying gifting the world with my joy, with what lights me up. I'm writing again. I wrote a draft of my next play recently. I'm seeing clients again and like really lit up by it. I'm making content behind the scenes for y'all that's going to be popping out soon. Excited for that. I'm lit up by my life. And that has to do with finding myself in my body again. And I'm so grateful. I am so grateful for this experience, for all of the experiences that I've had in my body. I have experienced so much. I've experienced such pleasure and joy and freedom and the depths of despair and loss and incredible crippling pain that lasted for years. I have been through multiple abdominal surgeries and pelvic floor surgeries. I have been sexually abused. I've been date raped. All of the above. And I've also been like lit the fuck up with joy. And I have experienced deep, deep, deep connection to the divine. And I have experienced love to the like depths of my soul. I have experienced creative overflows. I have experienced, that state of flow, like that state of flow where everything is going, and you just trust. You trust everything is working out exactly the way it's supposed to. That's basically where I'm at right now. There's a lot of my life that's up in the air. And I'm okay with that because in my body, I have grounded my feet. I have been working a lot with my feet and my legs over the past year. And I have grounded my feet and my entire being in such a way that I trust Mother Earth. I trust my Heavenly Father and my earthly mother. I am good. I am good. Wherever I end up, I am ending up exactly where I'm meant to be. Because I am ending up in this body. Wherever I end up, I'm meant to be because this body is the temple of the Most High, of me and the Most High. And there is no possibility of anything other than exactly what is meant to be. And I feel that in every cell of my body. I really hope that you feel that too. And if you don't, if you're struggling, if you've never experienced what I'm talking about, there are several practitioners that we talked to this season that if you're in the New York City area or if you're in Texas, Flower of Life is in Texas as well, who can support you. I'm here. I'm here for you. Reach out. Send me a comment, a DM, book a session. I'm here to help you feel like you are living a life that feels like summer camp. That summer camp feeling in your body, like in your body. For me, summer camp was like, yes, freedom. I get to be in nature. I get to play. I get to make crafts. I get to sing out like in nature. It felt so free in my body. And that's what I'm here to help you tap back into, because it's already yours. Freedom in your body is yours by divine right. And if you have lost that freedom, if you've lost that connection to your sovereign body, you get to find it. You get to find it. And I get to help you if you would like that. I love you. I am so excited for what's coming up for you, for me, for the show. And I look forward to our next season together, which will start off with the winter solstice of 2024. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ride in your body, in your temple. Queridas, we made it to one of my favorite parts of each episode, the moment of flow. I love poetry. I love words and rhythm and how when you mix the two, you get into a beautiful state of flow. And so I want to leave you with that at the end of each episode. So here it is, your moment of flow. Gracias a mi cuerpo. Gracias a mi cuerpo. Thank you to my body. More than any lover, you have seen it all. Body, you know when to change. You know when I'm ready to face what's real. You send me direct messages, clearer than any partner. Cuerpo, you are my therapy. You hold all the truth I will ever need. Gracias for bringing me back a mi fe, to my faith. You are the dwelling place of the Most High. The Creator of all lives in this body. My flesh, my bones, hold my spirit, this sacred piece of the all that I am. I love you, my body. Te amo, mi cuerpo. When I honor you, I honor the divine. You reveal holy secrets, and I stand in awe of my own temple.